1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The Minister of Power says no power cuts until tomorrow. The low-income earners to receive free solar panels. The Railways Department says the Northern Railway line from Anuradhapura to Vavuniya closed for 6 months for development work. The Maldives Speaker Mohammed Nasheed arrives in Sri Lanka on a 4-day official visit. The Most Reverend Dr. Valence Mendis appointed as the new Bishop of Kandy. Preparations are underway for the ceremonial opening of the second session of the 9th Parliament tomorrow. The National Zoological Gardens receives record high income. International news, Tonga calls for immediate aid after volcanic eruption and tsunami. Sports cricket, Sri Lanka crush Zimbabwe by 5 wickets to win first ODI. News in detail now. The Minister of Power has planned to provide free solar panels to low-income earners. Minister Gamini Lokage noted that the proposal in this regard was already approved by the Cabinet of Ministers and a program will be implemented from next week. Accordingly, solar panels that can generate 5 watt, 10 watt and 15 watts of power will be provided to low-income earners, and the solar panels will be installed free of charge as well. The Railway Department stated that the section of the Northern Railway line from Anuradhapura to Vavuniya will be closed for 6 months due to development work. The department said accordingly a 120-kilometer stretch is to be developed at a cost of $92 million. At present, the maximum speed of trains on this line is 80 kilometers per hour. After developing the section from Mahawar to Omante, trains can run at a maximum speed of 100 kilometers per hour. The 19th Speaker of the Maldives Parliament and former President of the Maldives, Mohammed Nasheed, arrived in Sri Lanka on Sunday for a 4-day official visit. He was accompanied by a 2-member delegation. State Minister of Regional Cooperation, Tharaka Balasuriya, received the Maldivian Speaker at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunayake. The Maldivian Speaker will be in Sri Lanka for 4 days and will attend several special events. The Most Reverend Dr. Valence Mendis has been appointed as the new Bishop of Kandy Diocese. The event was held today at St. Anthony's Cathedral in Kandy, presided over by His Holiness, the Apostolic Nuncio of Sri Lanka, Archbishop Brian Udakwe, the Archbishop of Colombo, Cardinal Malcolm Ranjith, and members of the Catholic Church. The new appointment coincides with the retirement of the Most Reverend Bishop Vianney Fernando, who served as the Bishop of Kandy Diocese for the past 38 years. Reverend Dr. Valence Mendis is the 7th Bishop of the Diocese of Kandy and formerly was the Bishop of Chilau since 2006. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Preparations are underway at the Parliament premises for the ceremonial opening of the second session of the 9th Parliament tomorrow. Meanwhile, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa is scheduled to present the government policy statement in Parliament on Tuesday, the 18th at 10 a.m. in accordance with the powers vested in him by Article 33, subsection 2 of the Constitution. On the instructions of the President, arrangements have been made to hold the ceremony in a very simple manner, and thus there will be no gun salutes or car parades. Instead, the President will be received in front of the Parliament with a cultural salute with the participation of the Police Cultural Division. The students of the President's Girls' College, Sri Javadanapura, will line up for the recital of Jayamangala Gatha at the main entrance of the Parliament building in welcoming the President. The Department of National Zoological Gardens has received a record income during the long weekend. The Director General of the Zoological Gardens Department, Shamila Rajapaksha, stated that an income of 13,044,221 rupees has been received within the past 3 days. Accordingly, the Hivela Pinnavala and Ridhigama Safari have received this revenue. She further stated that the highest income has been received during the last 2 days from the day the Ridhigama Safari Park was opened to date. The Secretary to the Prime Minister Gamini Senrath is scheduled to assume duties as the Secretary to the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa on the 19th of January, while Secretary to the Ministry of Irrigation Anura Dissanayake is scheduled to assume duties as the Secretary to the Prime Minister on the 20th. Mr. Anura Dissanayake, who is to be appointed as the Secretary to the Prime Minister, is also a special grade officer in the Sri Lanka Administrative Service. He has served as the Secretary to the number of ministries, including the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Mahawali. According to the epidemiology unit of the Health Ministry, 690 new COVID-19 cases were reported so far on Sunday. A total of 596,347 COVID-19 cases have been reported since the beginning of the pandemic, while 12,926 infected patients are currently under medical care at hospitals and homes, and 568,210 patients have fully recovered and been discharged from hospitals. Sri Lanka Sunday reported 14 deaths, raising the total to 15,211. Meanwhile, the epidemiology unit report says so far, total of 16,200,619 people have received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine and 13,871,724 have received the second dose. In addition, 4,694,122 have received the third booster dose. And that ends local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Claiming that the power supply could be continued without interruptions until tomorrow, Power Minister Gamini Lokuge says a decision would have to be taken on power cuts if the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation does not provide required fuel stocks to the Ceylon Electricity Board until January 22nd. He told the media that there would be no power cuts until Tuesday, the 18th, as the CPC had provided 3,000 metric tons of fuel to the CEB. The minister said engineers had assured that the third unit of the Norachole coal power plant, which was out of order due to a breakdown, would be restored by January 22nd, adding 300 megawatts to the national grid. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, the Health Ministry said Sri Lanka is prepared to administer the fourth COVID vaccine dose if the need arises. State Minister of Pharmaceutical Production, Supply and Regulation, Professor Channa Jayasumana, said that indications are that the spread of COVID will end with the Omicron variant. As a result, the government is not going to purchase extra doses to administer a fourth dose of the COVID vaccine. However, he said that a system is in place to purchase the required doses in the event there is a need for a fourth dose. And that was Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
In the headlines, Tonga calls for immediate aid after volcanic eruption and tsunami. North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles. Teens held in the UK as Britain named as the hostage taker. World News in detail now. Tonga is calling for immediate aid with an urgent need for fresh water and food as it assesses the damage caused by Saturday's eruption of Hunga Hapai. The volcano exploded in a massive eruption on Saturday, triggering a tsunami and blanketing the Pacific island nation in volcanic ash. Communications remain down, and the full extent of the harm to lives and property is currently unknown. Australia and New Zealand on Monday sent surveillance flights to assess the damage in Tonga and said they were coordinating with the United States, France and other countries on the humanitarian response. Japan's government says North Korea launched 2 ballistic missiles early this morning. Japanese Defense Minister Kishi Nobuo said the missiles are believed to have reached a maximum altitude of around 50 kilometers. He indicated they likely flew about 300 kilometers, presuming they followed a normal ballistic trajectory. The missiles reportedly fell into the sea. This is the 4th time North Korea has fired projectiles since the year started. 2 teenagers have been arrested in England as part of the investigation into a hostage-taking incident in a synagogue in Texas on Saturday. British citizen Malik Faisal Akram, aged 44, from Blackburn, was shot dead after a standoff with police in Colleyville. Details of the ages or genders of the pair arrested in South Manchester on Sunday evening were not revealed. Greater Manchester Police said it was liaising with local communities and continuing to assist in the US inquiry. Back to the headlines of the world news. Tonga calls for immediate aid after volcanic eruption and tsunami. North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles. Teens held in the UK as Britain named as the hostage taker. And that ends World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
In development news, Sri Lanka Yachting Group and Building a Future Foundation are to replicate in the north of Sri Lanka their successful boat building and marine training project for youth targeting the leisure industry. The 540 square metre new SLBC training centre and boatyard is situated on a 4.5 acre land in Velanai. The Jaffna Training Centre will conduct courses in the basic skills of mechanical engineering, electricity, welding, refrigeration and air conditioning, followed by hands-on experience in dedicated boat building and outboard and inboard engine repair and maintenance. And that was development news.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
In sports news, it's cricket. Sri Lanka registered a 5-wicket victory against Zimbabwe on Sunday and took a 1-0 lead in the 3-match ODI series. This was the highest successful run chase in Pallekele Kandy. Batting first, the visitors posted 296 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in their 50 overs, mostly thanks to a quick 100 by Sean Williams. However, Pathum Nissanka, Charita Slanka and Dinesh Chandimal powered the host to victory with ease. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The U.S. government's Agency for International Development launched a free online mentoring platform today to connect emerging entrepreneurs with experienced business experts. The platform, available to the public at www.es.ulead.lk, connects aspiring entrepreneurs across Sri Lanka with more than 100 experienced business leaders and subject matter experts to help them navigate unprecedented challenges and support the long-term success of their businesses. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
In addition to the extension of $4,900 million support, India and Sri Lanka are working out other pillars of financial cooperation agreed upon during Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa's visit to New Delhi last month. During discussions, there were 4 pillars of financial support agreed: the currency swap arrangement, the food and health security package, energy security package and facilitation of investments are the 4 points. India on Thursday announced the extension of $900 million foreign exchange support, including the $400 million currency swap. And that was economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
The Meteorological Department forecasts several spells of showers to occur in the northern, north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in the Matale district. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the western and Sabragama provinces and in the Galle, Matra, Kandy and Nuwara districts in the afternoon. Fairly heavy showers above 75 mm may occur at some places in the Sabragama province and in the Kaltara, Galle and Matra districts. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporarily localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. And that was the weather report. And to conclude this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The Minister of Power says no power cuts until tomorrow. The low-income earners to receive free solar panels. The Railways Department says the Northern Railway line from Anuradhapura to Vavuniya closed for 6 months for development work. The Maldives Speaker Mohammed Nasheed arrives in Sri Lanka on a 4-day official visit. The Most Reverend Dr. Valence Mendis appointed as the new Bishop of Kandy. Preparations are underway for the ceremonial opening of the second session of the 9th Parliament tomorrow. The National Zoological Gardens receives record high income. International news, Tonga calls for immediate aid after volcanic eruption and tsunami. Sports cricket, Sri Lanka crush Zimbabwe by 5 wickets to win the first ODI. And with that, we end this news broadcast.